Clive to Carl here, and I'd like to discuss some of the easy ways to overcome depression. The first one I would suggest is free, which is sunshine. We all feel better in the sunshine. If you have the time to take your shoes off and your socks off, and if you have the luxury of a bit of outside space like a garden, sit in the sun barefoot with as much skin exposed as you possibly can, and I can guarantee you'll feel better. Another free one is to look yourself in the eyes in the mirror and smile for a minute. That releases all sorts of happy chemicals into the brain, and that can help a lot. Another free one is to laugh. If you can find something to watch, maybe it'll make you laugh, listen to or think about that will make you laugh to cheer you up, also fantastic. One of the other things is that when people get depressed, they tend to be isolationists. They tend to stay away from other people because they're feeling depressed. It's not surprising. But if you can find a way to help somebody else, not somebody who's always demanding and you can work hours and get nowhere, but the people who you can give them a little small bit of effort and really cheer them up. I mean, I find, particularly if I go into a city, if I go into a shop, I'll smile and say hello. And that, in big cities, they're not used to that. Cheers them up, and as a result, cheers you up because you realise you've cheered them up. When it comes to supplements, it's worth thinking, first of all, of magnesium. Magnesium just relaxes your mind, your whole body, and that can help turn a problem into a challenge. It's still there, but it's not quite so daunting. Another big one is L-tryptophan. Now, almost everybody's low on magnesium. Not that many are low on L-tryptophan, but a few people really get a magic result. You'll know if it's going to work for you because you'll feel the result in days. You don't have to try it for months or anything like that. So there are a number of things that are worth considering. I think the biggest one of the lot is probably niacin, vitamin B3. Now, niacin has been known about for decades as the cure, even doctors know this, for pellagra. Now, pellagra is a particularly nasty disease, which isn't really, it's just a nutrient deficiency. Turns out pellagra is a deficiency of B3. Now, pellagra comes with it a certain mania, very similar to schizophrenia. Now, it's not a huge jump of the imagination to think if the symptoms are similar, maybe the cause of vitamin B3 deficiency is also similar, and turns out it is. People may need a fairly hefty dose of vitamin B3 to reach the level where they go from schizophrenic to not hearing the voices, not getting compulsions, whatever it might be. So it's very, very important to know this. When you're taking any B vitamin, you want to take a B vitamin complex to round it out. You want a balance. But we do a B1 supplement separately because in certain cases one does need to find the dose that's applicable for you. Now, there's lots of information on the Secret Health Club about how to reverse depression. It's under the happiness section, and there's lots of information about vitamin B3. One of my favourite stories is about Bill W., one of the founders of Alcoholics Anonymous, who, once his organisation had got going, he decided he better do something about his depression, which was probably causing him to be an alcoholic. So he saw Abraham Hoffer, a psychiatrist in Canada, who was very keen on vitamins as the answer. Hoffer gave him vitamin C and a number of vitamins, minerals I expect as well, but it was the vitamin B3, the niacin, that fixed his lifelong depression. He went back to his organisation, which was now run by others, told them the 13th step as he would like to see it. They didn't believe in vitamins, so they sacked him. But in my feeling, it should be the 13th step. Now, I met a lady the other day who explained to me that she'd been in recovery from alcoholism for 29 years. I asked her, well, what's the problem? She said, well, I can't drink. I'm still in recovery. And I suggested to her that perhaps it's like having an allergy. You've just realized that some people are allergic to peanuts, for example, that you're allergic to alcohol. You recovered 29 years ago when you discovered that it was an allergy. The job is done. You can forgive yourself and move on. Just briefly, before I finish, peanut allergies. There have been people who've given up peanuts for several weeks and found that by microdosing peanuts back into their system that they can tolerate them again. It's a slow process, but so long as you're choosing organic peanuts that are not cut with nasty oils, it should be 100% natural, no palm oil or anything like that. The good news is that you should be able to get over a peanut allergy and many other allergies along with it in a similar way. Vitamin C, super important. There are a few supplements which you can find details on the detoxification page of the Secret Health Club to help guide you. Thanks very much.